What a shame.
Ring, 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 ding a ding, ring 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 a ding, a ding, a ring, 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 ring a ding. fruity, 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 fruity.
Duh.
Pain, 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 pain.
What a shame.
I wanted to start with a somewhat cold opening rather than before I get into the good evenings and the hellos and all the rest of it. So forgive the cold opening. Sometimes it's nice to mix things up. How you all doing? Let me just get the light on my camera. Not doing a cover up there. Hello. I just wanted to start by addressing what happened on Saturday, if you were here. If you weren't here, that's fine as well. I won't be long. Also, I need a few minutes to set up the Hive because it's got a slightly different setup now. So on Saturday, the game crashed, The Escape Artist, and I was really very frustrated about it because, not least of all, because I spent a good 3 days this week making changes and tweaks to it to improve the experience. Still got a few more things that need doing. And I just thought I would take this moment just to address what happened and my reaction to it and what I'm doing moving forward. So when it crashed, I got more worked up than perhaps I normally do for various reasons. And so I didn't put the camera on for the rest of the stream. And I have to say, it was only out of respect to Jogging, who'd written the pack, that I came back at all, because I just wanted to end the stream immediately. It might seem to people watching that I'm just sort of ignoring this issue and hoping it'll go away. That is not the case. It started happening, just a quick history, it seemed to start happening when I got the new graphics card put in last June, I think. And since then, it was a bit of a bumpy start with that card, and there've been intermittent crashes ever since. Sometimes it's a blue screen of death, sometimes it's just a Unity crash, sometimes the game just freezes. Unrelated to that, there's been OBS crashes as well. And I just wanted to let you know that I am taking it somewhat seriously. I'm not just ignoring it and hoping it'll go away, even though it might seem like I'm doing just that. And I understand how frustrating it is for players when that sort of thing happens. And I just wanted to apologise to everyone, not just for Saturday, but for last Tuesday and all the other times it's happened where it interrupts the flow of the game and people get annoyed because it's just so damaging. Even if the game has got a version control in it and I can restore the data, which not all of them do, it's really damaging and breaks the flow. So I'm really sorry about that it has been happening. What I have been doing over the course of since it started happening, apart from ostensibly adding a time machine into builds as a matter of course, which I haven't always done, but I am doing more. I have been gradually migrating builds over from Unity 2019 to Unity 2020, because when I emailed Unity with a bug report, they said that version of 2019 isn't supported anymore. You should switch to 2020 long-term support, which is what I've done. And for the longest time, it seemed to work with Unity 2020. Games were running fine. There were no issues, and I thought, okay, great, problem solved. And then we got two 2020 crashes in two streams. One on Danger Zone, I think it was last Tuesday, and then again on Saturday on The Escape Artist. So that issue, that theory has readily been put to bed as a theory. So what I have done is I have contacted two different computer people because I'm not hardware at all. I've contacted the guy who owns the shop, who built the computer. It's the shop underneath the flat where we used to live, so I know the guy really well. And I've contacted somebody else who's a more general independent computer maintenance person. And they've both given me some ideas. They've both said, because it's intermittent and because I can't repro it and because it's inconsistent as to when it happens, it's a difficult thing to diagnose. Now, the only clue that we seem to have at the moment is that it's something relating to the graphics card. And Ash has mentioned to me, and off separately, I'm grateful to the moderation team who came in with some valuable advice to me when I sort of went and vented at them on Saturday night. So thank you to you guys for being there for that. The only clue is that it's a graphics card. Now, Ash seemed to suggest that early models of the RTX 30 series had crap capacitors on them, so it might be that it is just simply faulty hardware. Until such a time as the guys who built it can get some frame of reference as to what the crashes are from the blue screen dump log, they can't do anything about it. So their advice is that they need the blue screen crash. And when I went to look up the blue screen crash from Saturday, it was a mini dump which didn't have all the data. It was far too small to be of any use to anyone. So what they have said, they've shown me how to log full crashes as and when it crashes, so that I can send them a full log and they can start to investigate. And if it is the hardware, then it should be under warranty and I should just get a new card. What they've also said, though, is that obviously I've got to wait for it to crash again before I can get that log. Now, what I am going to be doing is doing some local recordings and trying to emulate the stream environment to see if I can prompt it into crashing so that it doesn't happen mid-game. But there's no guarantee. It might crash tonight. It might not. It might be another 10 streams before it crashes again. So that is not an invitation to try and break things. But there is a part of me that says, okay, the next time it crashes, that is going to hopefully generate some evidence, because it will now store a full log, and I will be able to send it off to someone who will be able to take a look at that, diagnose it, and hopefully say, yes, this looks like it is something with the graphics card. We can get that replaced for you. Until I've got at least that, though, they're not just going to send me a new graphics card out of the goodness of their hearts. So that's where I'm at. In the interim, all I can do is beg your patience. If it does crash, if it does go down midstream, naturally, it's not going to be without a certain degree of frustration, both from players and especially from me. So I am aware of these problems, and it doesn't need commenting on beyond something like boo or rip stream or something like that. I normally get onto my phone pretty quickly and say in chat what's happened, and I'll be back ASAP. I need to go back and add version control and time machines to the games, so that if it does happen, it isn't totally destroying for the stream. And games like the Escape Artist and Danger Zone are probably two of the worst examples in which to crash, because it's not as simple as just jumping to a particular question. So I do continue to beg your patience. It is being addressed. I'm not ignoring it and hoping it goes away, because I do recognise how frustrating it is. And by extension, it's probably going to be something that is going to taint your experience of what happens here, and perhaps on an extreme level, perhaps make you think, well, I just can't be asked with that if it's going to break the flow. So I do thank you for your patience. I do apologise for what's happening, and let's say it is only since this new graphics card came in, so I'm hoping that at some point it will crash in a non-recoverable game, or off stream, so that I can start to action things and get to the bottom of what is going on. Elsewhere, the OBS crashes is because I rather foolishly updated to OBS version 29 on day 0, which is always a foolish thing. So I have since backdated OBS to 27.4.2, I think I'm on now, which I know is a stable version and I know does run, and it's also hooked up my Stream Deck again, so I can now press that button and get chat happening. So somehow reason I locked my Stream Deck out. So OBS now on that, in that respect, should be stable. And yeah, that's about it. I wanted to open with that, just to address that, get it out of the way, and let you, and just basically just apologise for this that is happening, and just to let you know that it is something I am trying to combat. It is something that I'm trying to deal with, and there might be some logic, I don't know, in buying a cheap graphics card and throwing it in there as a stopgap measure while they try and get diagnosis on my other one. I don't know that will fix the issue. I don't know that running games in built versions rather than out of the inspector will fix the issue. I don't know that having fewer Chrome tabs open might fix the issue. But I've certainly eliminated the fact that it was just the Unity version. That's all I'm going to say. I have got the Hive up and running, which of course is all Hackbox now. So I need to join this room so that I can start the game from my phone. This pack is from 8Minky. I will say a little bit more about it in a minute. Thank you very much for listening. And let's get on with the quiz. Good evening, 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 and welcome to Game Night on Tuesday, the 24th of January. Carrying on like you've not just had that rather strange prologue at the beginning of the stream. Message from our sponsor, Puzzle Dan.
Time to invade a beehive sounds rather rude if you ask me, Ben.
Does a little bit. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Puzzle Dad. Hope you're keeping well. It's The Hive. It's a pack by 8Minky, and it's a rather delightful pack, I have to say, as well. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Good evening to Colo and Dan and Shadowbane and Mark, to James and AB Me, to Shapes and Kamikaze, to Stimson's Angle, Ianyo, Lupine and Prugs, Mr. Vertigo, Ape and Topper and Oni and Natter, to Not a Cat and Jogging and Score and Fired and Ondi and Jordan, Ali and anyone else who is lurking, loitering and lingering in the chat. You are most welcome to be here. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be the only sort of headline game tonight. We have Plinko. Thank you very much to BC for that Plinko pack. Lovely little sort of classic trivia pack to get the evening started. I hope you had some fun with that and managed to get yourself some pennies. Now, The Hive. It is a principally a solo player game, plus, of course, the Hive Mind, where medals can be won. If you want to be that hot seat player, then you need to make sure you are in the Discord, which you can go and join right there if you're not in it already. You need to make sure you've got a microphone so that you can come and talk to me, and you need to make sure that you join this lobby. If you don't want to be the hot seat player, do not join this lobby. There is no need to join this lobby if you don't want to be the hot seat player. You will still be able to join for the Hive Mind game that comes up a bit later on, but this is a pack by 8Minky. It's a particularly tasty pack by 8Minky, beautifully crafted, and lots of things to like about this. So, yeah, fingers crossed everything holds together. And if you fancy your chances at winning a life-changing amount of pennies, type in the code. Honey of a quiz, indeed it is. KZPS over at hackbox.ca. Remember, if you only want to play in the Hive Mind, you don't need to join this lobby. It will still be open for you to come join a bit later on. Two players in the game so far. Oh, I think, yeah, sorry, Mark, I think I've still not done case insensitivity on this one-time password. Must change that. Dart, welcome to the stream, my dude. Hope you're keeping well. Lovely to have you here. Still doing the dry January thing. We had some friends around on Sunday evening, and they were drinking, and we thought, we're just going to power through this. And, yeah. Oh, I felt very proud. Share screen 3. Go live. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in so far. Remember, you do need to be in Discord and with a microphone if you want to come talk to me if you fancy your chances at playing the Hive tonight. There's Ondi. Welcome, welcome. All right, I'll give it till the end of the sting to join, and then all the worker drones come and join after the fact. So keep that hackbox thing there. Don't join until the player has been selected if you don't want to be in the hot seat, because it might still include you in the draw if it's in the process of selecting. So yeah, make sure you wait until the player has been selected on the screen and confirmed in the chat, and then come and join if you just want to be in the Hive Mind. I hope we have got some Hive Mind players, because otherwise, we're going to have a very limited pool. But let's see how we got on. 8 of you here. That is the end of the sting. Let's pick our Queen Bee tonight. It's Ralph. Ralph is in control of the Hive, aka the Lupine One. Ralph, welcome to the game. If you'd like to head towards the green room, have a chat with Colo, make sure your sound is all working as expected. And all of our worker drones, if you'd like to come and join the Hive now, that would be grand. And we'll get Ralph in here. At the moment, voice meter is also not working at the moment, so will only. I'll tell Ralph this again in a minute, but he'll only be able to hear me, not the game, unfortunately. So, but hopefully, you in the stream will still be able to hear everything just fine. I see Ralph in the green room now. I'm seeing more players joining in the Hive, which is lovely to see. Welcome to you all. And of course, this has got anytime entry. The code will be there for the duration of the game. Oh, good, lots of people. And anyone who wasn't selected in the hot seat, you will automatically be in the Hive. So don't worry that your avatars aren't currently on display. They will reappear in due course, and you will get the questions pinged down to you. Gold, silver, and bronze are available for our top worker drones this evening. And Ralph is going to be looking for a place on the elusive leaderboard, the top of which, I should say, is still, I believe, held by... It's Sotley. Let's have a look. It's Sotley right at the top with 750. Spoke's doing pretty well in the last game, getting up to 610 and a very nice second place. Samson and Shapes tied in third with 520. That is what Ralph is going to be looking to be. And speaking of Ralph, good evening.
Good evening.
Great to have you with us. How are you keeping, my dude?
Very well, thank you. This is going to be my last stream for a while. I'm going on holiday to Austria next week.
How nice! Whereabouts are you doing? Salzburg or Vienna or
snowboarding?
It's not the sights. It's just the sights of the side of the mountains.
Yes.
Nice. Are you a big snow sports fan then?
Yeah, I've never been snowboarding outdoors though.
Just down the stairs. Is it at home?
Indoor slopes.
Okay, nice. Well, that's nice one to send you on your way with then. A nice hot seat appearance in the Hive. Have you played before?
I might have. I think I've played before. It might have been one of the pilots.
Maybe one of the pilots. I'm just glancing down the leaderboard and I can't actually see your name down there. So maybe you haven't. Or maybe that was before I'd done a leaderboard for it, possibly. But either way, you are here now and it's a pleasure to have you here. Are you familiar with all the rules?
Yes.
Good stuff. Well, I will, of course, go over them with you as the game goes on, if you need. As for our worker drones, all you've got to do is answer the multiple choice question to the best of your ability, and the better you do, the more points you get, or the worse everyone else does, the more points you get. So you, in the Hive, you'll get 1 point for every player who gets the answer wrong, plus 1. And then it's up to Ralph to either use you, use himself, or use some combination thereof. I think that's about all there is to it. Ralph, are you ready to play?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Well, best of luck to our worker drones in the Hive. Best of luck to you, Ralph. Let's go to phase number 1. 20 points then for this first question. 2 options to be displayed. And your board is: how do you do, fellow kids? Which of these internet memes is the freshest? Which word is associated with the fewest number of years? Who has spent the most time in space? Which character does Alice first meet in the novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? Any of those leaping out at you?
So I think I'm clued up on my memes.
Okay.
I don't know what number that the second one would relate to, so I might save that for the audience. So. Right. I think I might save for the memes for the last for this space, so I'd probably go for who has spent the most time in space to start with.
Okay, just going to take a momentary look at something briefly here, because I just got a null reference exception from something, and there's another one. Now, why is that coming in? There's obviously something happening when players are pinging messages in. So what I'm going to do is just disable error pause, because something is clearly going going awry. If someone is trying to send something to Hackbox, then it might be causing issues. I'm hoping that is not going to be a persistent issue. But yeah, as Aitmink is saying, if they are going to happen, now's the right spot for them. Sorry, Ralph, I was distracted then. Can you just say once again for me, which one do you want to go for first?
Who has spent the most time in space?
Okie dokie. We are going over to the Hive first of all. 2 options for your Hive, and here is your question. Who has spent the most time in space? Valentina Tereshkova or Sally Ride? Time. So, 20 players attempting this one right here. Any thoughts on seeing the options there?
I wouldn't have any idea who
Okay.
of these 2 would have spent the most time in space. In fact, the only name I've heard of here is Sally Ride.
Okay.
Of course,
Do you
I would suppose people on the other side of the Iron Curtain might say the same thing but opposite.
do you think they're more likely to know or less likely to know?
Well, the Hive, I'd probably think that the Hive might go for. I don't want to use one of my cues on this one. I think I might mistrust the Hive on this one.
You're going to mistrust the Hive.
Yes.
Okie dokie. We're hoping that plurality are incorrect. Let's take a look. When we mistrust or trust, we lock in the correct answer. If you were going to take a punt, what would you have said?
I'd have sent. I've probably gone for Valentina.
Let's take a look. The correct answer is... It's actually Sally Ride, so you would have been wrong. Now, we're hoping to see lots of red in the Hive here. Red if you're wrong, Hive. Looks pretty good. Good decision, Ralph. Yes, indeed. The Hive were pretty flummoxed on that one. 70% going for Valentina Tereshkova. And just 30% going for Sally Ride. So you made the right decision to mistrust the Hive there. Valentina Tereshkova, 2 days, 22 hours and 50 minutes. Sally Ride, 14 days, 7 hours, 46 minutes. Other options that might have come up there, Chris Hadfield would have been the most at 166 days. Yuri Gagarin at 1 hour 48 minutes. And William Shatner, 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Welcome to the stream, Jack Wilfred. Nice to see you into the game. So, right decision to mistrust the Hive. If you did get that right in the Hive, very well done, because that's 15 points going to you. And it's a good start for you, Lupine. You got 20 points in the bank. Let's go back to the board. So, you liked your memes. You've also got to bear in mind the question you want to hang on until the end of the game
Yes,
as well.
I've decided which one I'm going to save for the end already.
Okay.
So,
Which is that?
which word? The word one.
The word one. Okay, the years question.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, good lord, that's a great big noise. Thank you very much for that follow. Person who just followed, who I can't see. K Dupe, thank you very much for that follow. Most grateful. So if we're leaving the years question till the final phase later on, that'll be 5 options and you won't get to answer that question. It's worth bearing in mind. Is it going to be memes or Alice next?
Alice, please.
Alice, okay. Hive, over to you. 3 options. Take a look at this. Which character does Alice meet first in the novel Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? The caterpillar, the Cheshire Cat, or the mock turtle? And there's your time up. Right, Ralph, have you... 23 players attempting in the Hive. Have you read this?
I saw the film years
Saw the film?
ago.
Okay.
So, Alice goes down the rabbit hole, eat me, drink me, and I believe the first creature she sees in the film is the caterpillar.
Okay.
And then she proceeds to see the Cheshire Cat and the mock turtle. So I'm leaning towards the caterpillar.
You want to play this one?
Yes, I'll play the caterpillar.
Okay. It leaves you with that trust for the next question, if you'd like it. We'll lock in the caterpillar. And let's go and see how we got on in the Hive of the 23 players who played. Green if you're right. Ooh. Well, the Hive were wrong, but you were right, Ralph. Very well played. The caterpillar was the correct answer. And K Jupe, welcome to the stream, and thank you very much for that follow. Yeah, the Cheshire Cat described the Hatter and the March Hare as mad, but the exact phrase Mad Hatter appears nowhere in this particular book. I thought there was a chapter title called The Mad Hatter's Tea Party, but it's actually called A Mad Tea Party. But you're right, Ralph, the caterpillar's at the end of chapter 4. The Cheshire Cat in the middle of Chapter 6, the Hatter in Chapter 7, the Queen of Hearts, which didn't come up there in Chapter 8, and the Mock Turtle much later on in Chapter 9. Very well done in the Hive if you got that one right. Just 26% of you going for the Caterpillar, and you've got yourself 18 points if you did. Nicely done. As for you, Ralph, you've added another 30 points to your bank. Let's go back for the final question of this phase. Sticking with your decision?
The memes, please.
The memes. Let's load up the memes. 4 options for your Hive. Here they are. How do you do, fellow kids? Which of these internet memes is the freshest? Bongo Cat, Nyan Cat, Long Cat, Simon's Cat. Time Cat. 23 attempting this one. So, you know your memes.
You're a kitty.
You're a kitty. Is that the XKCD scale of inanity of statements versus proximity of cat? Are reverse correlated, yeah. Yes. I like that one. You're a kitty. The cat just staring at you with contempt. So, of these cat memes, do you want to try and date them?
I think Long Cat's definitely been around a long time. So I'd say like Long Cat is up there with Ceiling Cats and Grumpy Cats. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if one of those two was the 5th option.
Okay.
But I think Simon's Cat's been around for a while, but I think Long Cat's been around for longer. If no pun intended. I think I would go for Long Cat.
Just to clarify, it is asking for the freshest, which even though it is not stated explicitly, I think, and I might be wrong, but I think it's looking for the newest.
I'd say if it's the newest, I'd probably go for Bongo Cat then.
So we're thinking Bongo Cat. I'm just gonna get clarity from Ape that by freshest he did mean most recent. I think he did, but I just want to clarify that for the sake of, unless he thinks it's part of the question. Fresh equals most recent. There we go. So
okay, in that case, yes, Bongo Cat.
You're going to play this yourself?
Yes, I'll take the cue.
Okay.
Bongo Cat.
Bongo Cat. We'll lock it in, and we'll see how you got on in the Hive. Green if you're right. Old man. A lot of green in there, and right answer from Ralph. 52% of the Hive. Half of the cursed ratio up there getting that one right. Very well done. Yeah, Bongo Cat was as recent as May 2018. Nyan Cat was April 2011. Simon's Cat, March 2008. And Long Cat, February 2006. Photo was posted a year or two earlier. Monty Python sketch had a similar gag in 1971. The other option that didn't come up there was something called Pop Cat, which is apparently October 2020. But I have a feeling that passed me by with the nary a tip of the hat or a farewell. But 52% of the Hive getting the correct answer. Very well done. 12 points if you did go for Bongo Cat. And Ralph, you've got through the round without using your trust, but you're on a perfect streak so far. 3 correct decisions out of 3 questions. Let's see how the Hive are getting on overall. Those are the scores. Goodness me, there's a lot of drama going on there. A few twos, just one player getting all 3, and that is Mark, who takes an early lead with 45. Proog's currently in second on 33, thanks to the first and the second. And then we've got a 4-way tie between Clivy, Keiju, Natter, and Stimpson's Angle, all on 30, getting number 2 and number 3 correct. Ralph, you are up to 90 points in your bank, and that is the end of phase 1. So, solid start. Clive, a legend, welcome to the stream. Great to have you with us. That must be feeling pretty good at this stage.
Oh, yes.
So we've got that question about years, the fewest number of years coming up later on. But of course, you don't have to answer that one. It will just be for the Hive. But we'll see what that brings in a little while. For now, we want to add some more money to your bank. Let's go to phase number 2. Starting again with 2 options. 50 points for Ralph for this first question. And your board is... Which language course on the app Duolingo has the fewest English-speaking learners? When worn correctly, which article of clothing is worn closest to the top of the head? Which lead singer's rock band has the greatest number in its name? And without entering non-required pipes, which baddie does Mario encounter first in 1985's Super Mario Bros? Bit of a smorgasbord of questions there, Ralph. Any of them appealing for an early question?
Fun variety. Once again, I think I know which question I'll save for the final phase and just put to the drones.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the music question.
Which lead singer's rock band?
Yes.
Okie dokie. 2 options, and so in many ways the easiest question, but let's see how we get on. Hive, over to you. Which lead singer's rock band has the greatest number in its name? Ryan Tedder or Rob Thomas? Time. And Claire, welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if Hackbox delivered that question state to you, but you should be in on the next one. Welcome on in. Do you know either of these singers?
No, and I had a feeling that at least one of the other 3 options might have been what I would have known.
Which was?
Now, I know Sum 41 and Blink 182, and I don't think any of these sing for Blink 182, and I wouldn't know if they sing for Sum 41 either. Even if I have heard a lot of their music, I wouldn't know who their lead singers was. So I'm afraid I can't trust myself to answer this question.
I have to say, when I proved this earlier on, I recognised 4 out of 5 of the bands and 2 out of 5 of the singers, just from my own point of view. Okay,
so it's not just me.
So it's not necessarily just you here. There's one band that I'd never heard of, but I had heard of the other ones. So it's up to you. If you're leaning towards using the Hive, do you think they'll know this or not know this?
I'm going to take the mistrust.
Mistrust, you don't think they'll know it?
No.
Okay, we're going to lock in mistrust and the correct answer, which was... Rob Thomas. More information on that in just a moment. We want plurality to be with Ryan Tedder then. Green if you're right, Hive. Oh, they've just managed to find the right answer and you've gone the wrong way. Should have trusted there, Ralph. Bad luck. Yeah, 55% were correct, going for Rob Thomas, who was actually the one band I hadn't heard of. He's the lead singer of Matchbox 20, as opposed to Ryan Tedder, who is the lead singer of One Republic. So maybe if people knew One Republic, they could possibly work out that the other one was likely to be greater. Ryan Tedder was the lowest number there. Other ones that could have come up, no Sum 41 or Blink 182, but we had Bono, who's the lead singer of...
U2.
Correct. Adam Levine.
Maroon 5.
Very good. And this one, which I was amazed to find out about earlier on today, Jared Leto.
What?
Is the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars.
You know that.
They did a great song back when I was a student. I think it was called The Kill. Go break me down. That one. Oh, but I had no idea it was Jared Leto. Theory Game, welcome to the stream. So yeah, every day's a school day. Unfortunately for you, Ralph, there's no more points going into your bank on that one, but very well done. If you did give me the correct answer in the Hive there, that's 11 points to you. Let's go back to the board. So, Duolingo, clothes, or Super Mario? With
clothes, please.
Clothes with 3 options. Hive, over to you. When worn correctly, which article of clothing is worn closest to the top of the head? Cravat, espadrille, or bodice? And there's time. I see a great flurry of activity in the hive there. 24 players attempting this in total. Ralph, you familiar with any of these?
Yes. The cravat is worn around the neck. The espadrille is a footwear, and the bodice is worn on the body. So it would have to be the cravat.
Go to play?
Play cravat.
Let's lock cravat in. And let's go over to the hive, see how they got on. Green if you're right. No drama there. 79% going for cravat as well. 21% for bodice. Nobody going for espadrille. Just 6 points if you got that right in the hive, because there was a strong sense of correct, as was Ralph, and he saved that trust in going in a very similar direction as in phase 1 here. You got the trust and an option to answer yourself left. As you pointed out, yes, the cravat is a neck-like tie. A bodice would be on the upper body. Espadrille is footwear. The two options that didn't come up, cummerbund, which is around or just above the waist, and fascinator, which would have been closest to the head, as that is a headpiece, typically worn at a wedding, I believe. I think my mum wore a fascinator at my wedding, and I wore a cravat, actually, as it happened. One of the only times I think I've done that. Well done. One more question in this phase. Let's go back to the board. Duolingo or Super Mario Bros? I've got an answer in my head that I think you're going to say.
Mario.
Yeah, I thought you might. So we'll leave that Duolingo till the final phase. 60 points up for grabs on this question and 4 options to pick from. Hive, over to you. Without entering non-required pipes, which baddie does Mario encounter first in 1985 Super Mario Bros? Cheep Cheep, Lakitu, Koopa Trooper, or Piranha Plant? There's your time. You played it, Ralph?
Yep.
Do you know the answer?
It's between the Koopa Trooper and the Piranha Plant. Cheap Cheeps either live in the water or jump out of it, and so they wouldn't be encountered until World 2 or later. Lakitu's very much a late stage enemy, so it's between the Koopa Trooper and the Piranha Plant, and I think I'm leaning towards the Koopa Trooper.
Koopa Trooper?
I'm going to take the I'll take Koopa Trooper and live to regret it.
You don't want to trust the hive?
I don't think the hive is generally good at video game knowledge, going by how well they approach my video game questions.
Fair enough. Well, we will lock in Koopa Trooper then, and we'll see how the hive got on. Green if you're right, hive. Of the 24 who played. Good decision not to trust the hive. Yeah, the Koopa Trooper was the answer. Just 46% getting that, and well done if you did. 14 points in the hive. 54% went for Piranha Plant, which I'm told in the original was misspelled Pirana plants. So, yeah, the Koopa Trooper is a little turtley thing. That's in 1-1. Piranha Plant is in 1-2. This underground level begins with a cutscene of the player entering a pipe. Now, you technically can, if you go through the non-required pipe, not encounter a Koopa Trooper, I think, because it's just Goombas at the very beginning. Yes, if you don't go down those pipes, you will see a Koopa Trooper in 1-1. Cheep Cheep, as you pointed out, is the water one. Water level begins with a cutscene of the player entering a pipe. Lakitu is 4-1. Do you know which one it is?
Lives in a cloud, throws spideys at you.
That's the one, yes, the cloud dwelling thing. And the other one that could have come up, the first appears in 5-1. Can you work it out from that?
Buzzy Beetle?
Not Buzzy Beetle. Good thought.
Hammer Brother.
Not Hammer Brother. You were close with Buzzy Beetle. It is the same alliteration. Bullet Bill is the answer. That was the other answer that could have come up. 5-1. Yeah, that's when that first appears. So good decision there to take that off your own steam there. Koopa Trooper was the right answer, and 46% of the hive picking up 14 points as well. That's the end of phase 2. All but checking in with our worker drone to see how they're getting on now. A couple of 2-pointers there. Another couple of 2s. A couple of 2s. Anyone for 3? Mark again is on a perfect run this game, 6 out of 6 so far, and has got a strong lead with 76. Simpsons Angle now in second with 55, and Clive and Proogs tied up in third, each getting 2 in that round. Not bad at all. Not a bad performance from you there, Ralph. Another 2 questions right out of the 3 there. More money in your bank. You're up to 200 so far, and that is the end of phase 2. So you're having a good time actually here. You're not doing badly at all. We've got that Duolingo question that the Hive have got to look forward to later on, and you've got the fewest number of years question coming up as well. Feeling confident?
Yes, I think I've chosen the right questions to say for the audience.
I think it's always a very tricky thing to manage, because you don't want to just give them hard ones necessarily, because that can make it very difficult to pitch. You want to try and keep it so there's some level of a curve there to maybe help yourself out. Just something to think about as I think
that first question about the amount of time, the description of a question scared me, but I think the audience might be more okay with it. We'll have to see when the question comes up.
We will indeed. Well, we've got 2 more phases to try and build your bank a little further before that first. So let's get on with the game and go to phase number 3. 70 points for this next question. 2 options to be started with, and your board is: which art movement began earliest? Which company was founded closest in distance to London, England? Per 100-gram serving, which raw food item contains the greatest percentage of water? And which pair has been credited in the fewest feature films with each other, both in an acting role?
Okay, now we're getting hard.
Yes, getting into some of the trickier end of it now.
So... trying to get a good variety for my audience as well, because both of the questions I've saved are rather like wordy questions, like words and languages.
Yeah.
So I think I might want to save them something more, well, cultured or entertaining.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. You don't have to pick it now. You can sort of see how it goes and see which play styles you end up using, and then come back to it a bit later on. So you don't have to fully decide now. The first question is going to have 2 options though with it. So
I'm going to go for companies.
Companies. Which company was founded closest in distance? That one.
Yes.
Okay. We'll give it to the Hive first of all. Notable that you haven't used Trust the Hive yet. Maybe that's about to change. We will find out. Hive, we're coming over to you. 2 options to be displayed, and here is the question. Which company was founded closest in distance to London, England? Was it Godiva or Ferrero? Yanyo saying we're not very trustworthy. And that's time. So, Godiva or Ferrero? 24 players attempting this one in the Hive. What are you thinking here, Ralph?
Well, I don't think Godiva was founded in Coventry. I think that's a chocolate. Don't know if it's Belgian or Swiss. And similarly for Ferrero, I wouldn't know where. I don't know where in Europe it is. I think I probably might try. You know what? I haven't used it yet, so let's trust the Hive.
We're going to trust them for the first time.
Yes.
Okay. If you were playing yourself, what would you say?
I'd say Ferrero.
You'd say Ferrero. Well, let's lock in the right answer, which is Godiva. So you would have been wrong. So let's hope the Hive are a bit more on it. Green if you're right. Not that you're not on it, Ralph. This looks good. Yeah, 71% getting the right answer there. Very well done. 8 points to you in the Hive if you did give me Godiva. Just 29% going for Ferrero. Yeah, Godiva, you were bang on there, actually, Ralph. Brussels, Belgium, 321 kilometres. Now HQ is in New York City and owned by multi-industry company of Turkey. But it was founded in Belgium. Ferrero, any ideas where that might have been?
Germany, Switzerland,
A little bit further south.
Italy.
Italy is the one. Alba, yes, 968 kilometres away. Other ones that could have come up there were Toblerone, which was Bern, Switzerland, 747 kilometres away. One I'm struggling to say, Ghirardelli?
That would be in America.
It would. San Francisco, California in the United States, 8,617 kilometres away. And finally, Meiji, M-E-I-J-I.
That's Japan.
That is Tokyo, Japan, 9,562. So, good decision to trust the Hive there. You would have gone the wrong way on that one. So, more points going to you, and 8 points if you did get that in the Hive. Let's go back to the board. So, art movements, greatest percentage of water, or pairs of actors.
Let's go for the art question.
The art question, okay? 3 options to display. Hive, over to you. Which art movement began earliest? Baroque, Gothic, or Romanticism? Time. Silent Marine, welcome to the stream. Oh, that rhymes. How lovely. 24 players, once again, attempting this one. How is your history of art movements?
Well, these art movements, I feel these relate more to music than the painted work. Like,
That's always my go-to as well.
Composers, the either of Romanticism. But I think Gothic is the oldest of the 3 of those, or unless that's trying to trick me and was like some sort of Gothic revival that is referring to. I think Gothic is older than Baroque, so I'd go for Gothic.
You going to play yourself?
I'll play for Gothic.
Okay, let's lock in Gothic. And let's see how the Hive got on of the 24 players who answered. Green if you're right. Good decision, and the Hive were with you. 54% getting the correct answer, Gothic there. 12 points to each of you if you did get that right, the Hive. Very well done. 33% going for Baroque and 13% for Romanticism. There are, I always go to music because you have Baroque and then Classical, then Romantic, and then the various modern things. But yeah, Gothic sort of mid-12th century to 16th century-ish. Baroque 1600 to 1750, so that ties in exactly with the classical musical world of Baroque. Romanticism was then 1780 to 1850, and the two that didn't come up, the two later ones, Art Nouveau, 1890 to 1910, and Surrealism, 1917 to 1950. Very well played, Ralph. You've trusted and you've answered yourself, which means you've got either an answer yourself or a mistrust left for this final question of the phase. Let's take a look at the board again. So, food or actors?
Well, I'm doing very well at keeping my options open for these final questions of the phase.
You are. Has to be said.
I'm going to go for the food question.
The food question. I just need to switch to low power mode. 4 options to be displayed in the Hive, and 90 points up for grabs if you can get the right answer here, Ralph. Hive, over to you. Per 100-gram serving, which raw food item contains the greatest percentage of water? Spinach, sweet potato, banana, or Swiss cheese? Time. So, 22 players attempting that time. Any strong thoughts on any of these? Any of them leaping out at you?
Well, I don't know about water, but I do know that Swiss cheese has the greatest percentage of holes.
Yes, I think that's a fairly safe bet.
But I think spinach feels like the wettest vegetable. I don't like bananas though. I do know they make good smoothies, but I don't like bananas.
No? Oh, can't beat a bit of banana bread. Oh.
Banana bread I'll take.
So that's fair. That's a reasonable compromise. You have got a mistrust left if you don't think the Hive would know this, or you can play it yourself.
I think I'll play it myself and go for spinach.
Spinach. Okay, we'll lock in spinach. and we'll see how the Hive got on. Of the 22 players who attempted, green if you're right. A lot of green. And they are dead on, same as you, Ralph. 64% going for spinach, and each picking themselves up 9 points. 18% going for sweet potato, 5% for banana, and 14% for Swiss cheese. So you'd have been wrong to mistrust there. They did know. And yes, spinach is 92% water, sweet potato 80%, banana 75%, Swiss cheese 38%, and the one that didn't come up there was garlic, which is 63% water. Well, it's been a flawless round or phase 3 for you there, Ralph. You've only dropped one question in the whole game so far, right back at the start of phase 2. There's one more phase to come. Let's check in with our worker drone and see how they're getting on here. There's a few 3-pointers there and another couple there up into the top 10. Ianyo picking up 3, Stimson Zangle picking up 3. Mark just getting the 1 that time, but he does retain the top, albeit tied with Stimson Zangle, both on 84. Clive in second with 67. And Dart is in third with 65. But it is very close. Matt the Sprat not a million miles behind, and Ianyo not far behind that. Ralph, you are up to 440 points so far. That's a really nice total, especially with the phase still to go. And we've got to see what happens in that final phase, though. You've got to see if you can hang on to it as well. But for now, 440 in your bank. That's the end of phase 3. So I imagine at this point you're starting to think, okay, that's a goodly amount. Can you get it any higher? And then can you keep it? Questions for the final. That one on years. That one on languages. And now that one on pairs of actors. So I don't know if that's going to be a bit of a curveball for our friends in the Hive a bit later on. But are you feeling reasonably happy with the choices that are in there so far?
Yes, I just hope they don't bite me in the bum at the end.
Well, it's been known to happen. We have had a couple of fairly scary final phases recently, so let's see if we can keep the good vibes going. We've only dropped one question so far. Let's see if we can keep that up as we go into phase number 4. 2 options for this first one. 100 points available for this question, and your board is: who was Time Person of the Year first? Which 2022 sporting event had the greatest live attendance? In their current forms, which of these contains the fewest digits? Which fictional family made their American TV debut earliest?
Okay, so looking at these 4, I'm going to start with the time question.
Time Person of the Year?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Hive, over to you. 2 options. Here is the question. Who was Time Person of the Year first? Wallace Simpson or Corazon Aquino? Corazon Aquino, possibly. Time. You know either of these people, Ralph?
I wouldn't be able to tell you who any of them are.
Right, okay.
Much like those musicians from earlier. So I'm going to have to trust the Hive on this one.
Okay. If you were going to have a stab in the dark, what would you have said?
Corazon Aquino.
Okay, the correct answer is Wallace Simpson. I'll tell you more about her in just a minute. We trusted the Hive, so we want to see lots of green. Green if you're right. Well done, Hive. You've got Lupine out of a pickle there. 63% going for Wallace Simpson and 10 points going your way if you did. Yeah, Wallace Simpson was the earliest of the options, 1936. She was the person who Colin Firth's brother abdicated so he could marry. Edward the Eighth, maybe. It was one of the Edwards. Corazon Aquino, I must confess, I'm not familiar with. Other answers that could have come up there: Charles de Gaulle, 1958, Anwar Sadat, 1977, John Paul II in 1994, and Corazon Aquino was 1986. So, good decision to trust the Hive there. They've got you out of a bind. You've got mistrust, or you can answer the remaining 2 questions yourself. Let's go back to the board. Sports, digits, TV.
Well, seeing as I'm in the UK, I probably want to get the American TV one out of the way sooner than later, so I'd probably go for that one.
Okay, which 2022 sporting event for 110 points? 3 options to be displayed, and Hive.
No, wait.
No?
No, I want the TV one.
Oh, TV. Sorry, I thought you said. Sorry.
Yeah, TV one, please.
TV, the one at the bottom.
Yes.
So come away from the Hackbox device, Ben. So, which fictional family?
Yes.
Right, 110 points available for this. 3 options for the Hive, and here is the question. Which fictional family made their American TV debut earliest? The Partridge Family, the Jetsons, or the Flintstones? Time. Sorry for almost giving you the wrong question there.
Don't worry, I'll select the sports one next.
Rightio. 24 players have responded. What are you thinking?
Well, as we know from my money box pack last Christmas,
Yes.
the Partridge Family made its debut in 1970.
Uh-huh.
And the Flintstones are definitely a 60s thing that was succeeded by the Jetsons, so I'm going to go for the Flintstones.
Gonna play?
Yes, play with Flintstones.
Let's lock in the Flintstones. And we'll go and see how the Hive got on with this. Green if you're right. Looking good. Yeah, spot on. 83% getting it right. Just 5 points going your way. And Ralph, you're bang on here. The Flintstones 1960, followed by the Jetsons in 62. And then the Partridge Family, absolutely right, 1970. Other options that could have come up there, the Addams Family, 1964. And the Waltons, actually the latest, 1972. And Aper said, looks like Jetsons and Partridge Family reproduced. A 1974 show called Partridge Family 2200 AD was a futuristic animated series airing for 1 season, featuring the voices of cast members in their roles from the original series. Nice little extra bit of trivia. And now I've got the Jetsons theme stuck in my head. Meet George Jetson. There was a very funny tweet last year where someone had screen capped the Wikipedia page of George Jetson, and it said like he was born in 2022. So it just tweeted, just alert, somebody out there is about to give birth to George Jetson. So yeah, we finally reached the age where George Jetson is actually alive. Right decision to play the Flintstones there, and well done in the Hive. 5 points if you got that. One more question in this phase. Are you going to be true to your word and go for the sporting event?
Yes, please.
Leaving the digits for the final phase. 120 points available here. 4 options to be displayed. Hive, over to you. Which 2022 sporting event had the greatest live attendance? Indianapolis 500, MLB World Series Game 6, NFL Super Bowl, or Winter Olympics opening ceremony? Time. Now, biggest live attendance, not worldwide on TV. Live attendance. Funny you should mention that, Jack, actually in chat, just to Jack who said, where's the World Cup? He's mentioned that in chat. It's not impossible that is the answer that hasn't come up, and RNG has just done that one out of it. I'll tell you more in a minute. Ralph, what do you think?
Well, if there's one thing I know is that you can fit a lot of people around a NASCAR racetrack like the one in Indianapolis. Actually, that's IndyCars, but it's one of those oval tracks and you can fit a lot on it. One thing I can tell you was the largest attendance in college football ever was a game between Virginia Tech and Tennessee at the NASCAR racetrack in Bristol, Tennessee, which is like right in the middle between the two schools. So it was like the big rivalry game, and they had it in the middle of this racetrack, and they had around like 200,000. So I think that the Indianapolis 500 would fit that amount, and that would far eclipse like as much as you could fit in a ballpark or an Olympic stadium or the Super Bowl. It was Los Angeles, I think, and
Right.
So I think theirs are like in the 5 digits, but the Indianapolis 500 would be in the 6 digits. So I'd have to go for the Indy 500.
You have got that mistrust if you think the Hive are less likely to know than you are likely to know, but...
No, I think I'm going to go for the Indy 500.
Okay, we'll lock in Indianapolis 500. And we'll see how the Hive got on. 22 players answering this one, and green if you're right. Oh, a bit split here. Good decision from you, though. Mistrust would have got you there as well, because plurality went with the NFL Super Bowl, 41%, just 36% going for the Indy 500, 5% for the MLB World Series, and 18% for the Winter Olympics opening ceremony. Well done if you did get that right in the Hive. 15 points to you. Great logicking out there, Ralph, I have to say. Restrictions, including COVID lockdown, caused more than 80% of the 80,000-seat Bird's Nest Stadium to be empty, is what has been written here. But Indianapolis 500, you're right, 325,000 were there. The NFL Super Bowl final was next, 70k. Game 6 of the MLB World Series was 43k. The Winter Olympics opening ceremony, a mere 15,000. And just to satiate Jack's indignation in the chat, the missing answer there was the FIFA World Cup final, which would have been the second most popular, or second biggest answer, with 89,000. Good decision, though, there, Ralph, to go with your instinct. Say hi. Mistrust would have got you there as well, but great knowledge from you, and that's 11 out of 12 questions answered correctly. Let's go and see how the Hive got on over the course of that round. 3 from AB Me there, 3 from Guest Account, 3 from Clive, and 3 from Mark, who goes back into a clear lead with 114. Only player into 3 figures, apart from Ralph, of course. Simpsons Angles in second with 99, and Clive is in third with 97. But Hive, you have got 5 more questions to answer before the gold, silver, and bronze medals will be decided. As for Ralph, he is looking at winning potentially upwards of 770 pennies. And I can say right now, Ralph, that if you do manage that, that would put you at the top of the leaderboard. But you've got to make the right decisions in the final phase. That is the end of phase 4. So, you're familiar with the rule set for this final phase right here. The 4 questions that you have rejected and not seen will be given to the audience, the Hive, in a random order, preceded by 1 question that nobody has seen yet, and that will be the first one to set the benchmark. From that point on, Ralph, you have got to put the answers into order of how well you think they were answered, and obviously the more answers there are, the harder it gets to place, and so the more money you win. It's as simple as that. Let's go to the final phase. So that 770 has been divided into 385, 193, 116, and 77. That's 10%, 15%, 25%, and 50% of the total, which you can win across these 4 questions. You have done incredibly well, though, getting 11 questions right up to this point, which means whatever happens tonight, we will underwrite your winnings by 110 pennies, and you will leave with at least that tonight, but would like to add a lot more on. Could be going away with 880, which would be almost the maximum it's possible to get in this game. We're going to go to the Hive, first of all, to set the benchmark. For all of these questions, Hive, there will be 5 options. Ralph, you won't be able to answer any of them, but you've got to predict how well the Hive do. Rules are the same, though, for scoring in the Hive as before. You get 1 point for every person who gets the question wrong, plus 1. So, best of luck to Ralph. Best of luck to the Hive. Here is the first question of the final phase. Which letter comes first when correctly spelling the capital city of Iceland? A, V, Y, I, J. Time. Hey, Pointy, I don't know if 8 Minky has put this one in because it's almost a year since I went off to Reykjavik myself, the capital of Iceland. Do you know this one, Ralph?
I can't remember whether it's R-E-J-K or R-E-Y-K, and I'm wondering if the Hive would remember as well. Do you remember?
I remember, yeah. Do you want to know what the answer is?
Yes.
It's Y. It's R-E-Y, R-E-Y-K-J-A-V-I-K. Reykjavik. So, how many do you reckon got that? I mean, there's nothing at stake on this one, but just out
It's
of...
going to be a nice high percentage, and that the other ones will be a bit tougher for them. So it's an easy 77 pennies.
Okay, well, let's find out. How many players gave me Y? Yeah, pretty high. 68.2% getting the right answer there. Nobody going for A. 4% went for V, 18% for I, and 9% for J. 8 points if you did get that right in the Hive. So this is going to be the first question where you're going to have something at stake, Ralph. It's going to be those first 77 pennies. There's still 5 options, but you've got to slot it around 68.2%. It'll be higher or lower than that. If it's an exact tie, then we do give you the benefit of the doubt, whichever way it goes. So, Hive, over to you. In their current forms, which of these contains the fewest digits? This is the Phase 4 question, and your options are Google Public DNS IPv4 address, Universal Product Code, MasterCard card number length, International Standard Serial Number, or International Standard Book Number. Time. That's a hard question. I think that's probably the hardest question of the game. It's not going to be an exact match percentage because we've got fewer players answering, just 21 players getting an answer in there. Ralph, what's your instinct on what the correct answer is?
Okay, so credit card numbers, they usually have 16, unless they're American Express, I think. ISBN is 13 numbers. It used to be 10, but now it's been standardized to 13 by putting a 978 in front of it. I think IP addresses are like 3 digits times 4, so it would be 12 digits, but Google Public DNS is like something special, is like one specific IP address, maybe that makes it shorter. A UPC, is that like related to the ISBN or the ISSN? And I'd probably go for A, because I think that this might be a bit harder for them.
Okay, well the correct answer is... It is the Google Public DNS IPv4 address. So does that make you think it's more or less likely, or does it make no odds on whether you think it's going to be higher or lower than 68%? Because that's all we need to know.
Oh. I'm still leaning towards A.
Lower than 68?
Yes.
All right, we'll lock in A. How many people gave me the correct answer? Lower than 68%? Was indeed. Good decision. 38.1. In fact, not quite exactly half, a little bit more than half of the previous question, but 14 points if you did give me that in the Hive. Very well done, Ralph. 77 pennies have been added on to your total, and that's a nice wide gap that we've got, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. We'll find out. Google Public DNS IPv4 address has 4 digits. Their IPv6 address contains a minimum of 16. International Standard Serial Number has 8. Universal Product Code has 12. ISBN, quite rightly said, 13. The SBN system began with 9-digit strings, later turned into a 10-character format, and the MasterCard does have 16. So you were pretty on the money there, has to be said. And the Hive not doing badly either. 38% on a question like that. That was a tough question, so very well done if you did get that one right. You're doing well. Next up, 116 pennies at stake on this one, and it's going to be a choice of 3, lower than 38, higher than 68, or somewhere in the middle. 5 options. Let's give it to the Hive now. Which word is associated with the fewest number of years? All this one all the way back from Phase 1, and your options are triennial, centenary, bicentennial, bisextial, septuagenarian. Time. 21 again, attempting this one. Ralph, let's go through your etymology.
Okay, so triennial is something that happens every 3 years. Centenary is a celebration of 100 years. Septuagenarian is someone who has lived 70 years. Bisextial, that's like, could it be 6? 26 could be half 6, which makes it 3 again, so it couldn't be. Maybe it's 12. Bicentennial, I don't know what that would be. Would it be half a year? Or it's I'm probably if you show me the answer, maybe I'll know better.
Well, right now, are you sort of leaning towards, you think it's maybe triennial or bicentennial?
Yes, triennial, unless there's a rug pull.
Well, the correct answer is bisextial. Now, I can't give you any more information at the moment, but that's all the information I can give you. The correct answer was bisextial. So the question is, fewer than 38%, more than 68%, or somewhere in between?
I think that the audience would have been swerved by this one. Like me, I'm going to go for A.
You think less than 38% got this right?
Yes.
All right, we'll lock in A. How many people gave me the answer bisextial? You're absolutely right. It did swerve them, just 14.3% getting that one right, and you have added another 116 pennies to your total. Well done if you did give me bisextial in the Hive. You've got yourself 19 points. So to go through these, bisextial is just 1 year. It's the year with a leap day. Origin of phrase meaning second 6th day before March the 1st. So it's the leap year, and it's worth just 1 year. And there's a great big noise that we can't see because our avatars are in the way. But Sanchi, thank you very much for that follow. Goodness me, we must be getting close now to the magic number. Are we at 971? 970 now? 970. Goodness me. Welcome on in. Thank you very much for that follow. Triennial, as you said, was 3 years. Bicentennial was 20 years. Septuagenarian was 70, and centenary was 100. So yes, the Hive were somewhat spooked by that, but you've played it to your advantage there, Elf, and you've got another one in the bag. There's just 2 questions left. The next one is worth 193 pennies if you give me a right answer. Less than 14, more than 68, between 14 and 38, or between 38 and 68 are the options. Hive, we're coming over to you first with 5 options. Here's the next question. All the way from Phase 3, which pair has been credited in the fewest feature films with each other, both in an acting role? Tom Hiddleston and Emma Watson, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio. Fewest films. Time. And Sanchi, thank you for the kind words. Yes, if you like quizzes, you are in the right place indeed. Now, how's your films, Ralph?
Oh, that is a lot of words.
There are a lot of words out there, has to be said.
A lot of actors.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't know which films each of these have got it. I think like Tom and the Big Nicole feel like they'd be the most.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of Toms I've just noticed.
There are an awful lot of Toms. Well, I can tell you the correct answer is, if it's of any help, Tom Hiddleston and Emma Watson.
And I was leaning towards that one as well.
Okay.
Isn't Tom Hiddleston Draco Malfoy, or am I getting it wrong?
I can't say because there is a direct reference to this possible piece of information in the trivia.
That would have been 8 if he was Draco Malfoy. And did Ray go on to star in any future films, or is it Emma Thompson who plays Hermione Granger?
Oh, you're asking me all these questions that I'm not allowed to answer until you've locked in. So, I know all these answers, but I can't say as of yet. The correct answer is Tom Hiddleston and Emma Watson. They have been in the fewest films together. So how many in the Hive do you think went for that?
I think I'm going to go for C.
C. So you think more than 38, but fewer than 68.
Yeah, because I was leaning towards it as well, but it's not super obvious.
Okay, we'll lock in C. How many players gave me the correct answer out of the 20 who played? We're locking in C. Wrong side. Just 30% were giving it the correct answer there. Well done if you are among the 30%. 15
feeling
points.
I was wrong.
Yeah, just pitching the Hive a little bit too high there, just 30%. 15 points if you did get that right. It does mean you don't get that 193 pennies, but there's still that big one up there. Yeah, so you mentioned Tom Hiddleston. Was he Draco Malfoy? It was Tom Felton that was Draco Malfoy. So Tom Hiddleston and Emma Watson have actually never been in a film, both with an acting role together. Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, just the one. That was 2022's Uncharted. Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio? Any ideas?
No.
2, 2010's Inception and 2015's The Revenant. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman have been in 3 films together: 1990's Days of Thunder, 92's Far and Away, and 99's Eyes Wide Shut. The 2001 Kidman flick The Others had Tom Cruise as EP, but not as an actor. And finally, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, you were quite right. What quite right was the most? They've been in 4 together: Joe versus the Volcano, Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, and 2015's Ithaca, the latter of which was Meg Ryan's directorial debut. So, bad luck, you've just swerved the wrong way there, and it's also split that 14 and 38 with a 30%, so that's an uncomfortable little knuckle that you've got there between 30 and 38, which could cause some tears on the final question. But you're up to 303 in the bank still. That 385 is still there, which I'm just going to check with the board. The top score is 750, so at this point, you can't quite get the top spot, but you could get a very comfortable second if you can make the right decision here. There's one question left, and it is from Phase 2. Final question of the game. Hive, good luck. Here it is. Which language course on the app Duolingo has the fewest English-speaking learners? Esperanto, Welsh, High Valyrian, Turkish, or Latin? Time. Do you use it yourself, Duolingo?
No. Most English is pretty much mother tongue anyway. So I don't think I need to learn any German before I go off to Austria.
No, quite. Yes, it's fairly widely spoken over there. It's a slightly weird question. You've got to sort of get into the what this question is asking for, and I suppose it's looking for which is the least popular language amongst English speakers.
High Valyrian sounds like something out of Game of Thrones, or
it certainly is something out of Game of Thrones. Yes,
it is out of Game.
It is out of Game of Thrones. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have told you that. It's extra information I'm giving you there, but
like Hagrid, you should not have said that.
I should not have said that. So I can tell you the correct answer is Esperanto. So if that's of any help to you, Esperanto was the correct answer. How many in the Hive do you think went for Esperanto as a percentage?
As a conlang, I'd say it would be like the audience might be split between Esperanto and High Valyrian. So, like Welsh, Turkish, Latin, those are pretty well-known languages. In fact, Latin's been around for millennia, so I'd
Do
say
the Hive know that, though? That's what you've got to ask.
Yeah, I'd say...
Now we know it's Esperanto.
Well, probably might be like a 50-50 between Esperanto and High Valyrian. Latin Duolingo might be a popular choice amongst classics majors. So I'm leaning towards D on this one.
You think more than 38% got this right?
Yes.
All right, we will lock in D. How many people did give me the correct answer out of the 23 who played? Was it D? I'm afraid not. Way off.
Wow!
Just 4.3% of the Hive getting that. That might have been just a single player. I can't quite do the maths. I think it is just one player getting the correct answer there.
Wow!
Yeah, 4.3%. 21% went for Welsh. 43% plurality answer went for High Valyrian. Nobody going for Turkish. And 30% went for Latin. I can give you the actual figures. Esperanto's got 296,000 English-speaking learners. Welsh, 569,000. High Valyrian, 891,000. Latin, 1.55 million. And Turkish has 3 million. So nobody going for the most popular answer there. But, yeah, there we go. Oh, Ralph, just a bit of a tricky ending there, but that I have to say that's a very widely spread percentage. So sometimes when they're clustered together, it can go either way. But
yeah, I really got those percentages nicely separated. So I think I chose some good questions for the final phase. But
I would agree.
Wow, that miss on the final question, 4.3%. So
That's with this game. It can surprise you like that. So you were just out on that question 3 for the 193. Just went the wrong way, but that one was, out by quite a way. So giving the Hive far too much credit for their Duolingo knowledge. So it does mean you don't get that 385, but you do finish with a total of 303 pennies, which is going to put you into 10th place, 3 pennies ahead of Ash the Bash and 57 pennies behind HUD 601. So all in all, not a bad evening's work. Have you had a good time?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm glad to be amongst the esteemed company on the Hive leaderboard.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's always a pleasure having you here, Ralph. So thank you very much for playing. You've given us a great game. It's been really fun to watch, and very many thanks as well to 8 Minky for a delightful question pack. Really, really good stuff going in here. Yeah, let me give everyone some GGs as well. Now I can just press that button and do the GG thing. Great question pack from Ape, has to be said. And Ralph, wish you all the best on your snowboarding holiday. Have a lovely time, and we'll see you when you get back.
I'll see you after I'm back.
Great. Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Ralph there, going away with 303 pennies. What a great sport, and he's given us a really good game of the Hive there. Yes, again, credit absolutely to 8 Minky for a delicious set of questions. And Matt the Sprat, welcome to the stream. Just before we wrap this up, we need to see who our medalists are from our worker drones. So let's check out the final reckoning on the questions here. A number of 2s in there, a couple of 3s, and there we have no one getting more than 3 in the final, but there we have our final score, just a point in it in between second and third. Clive picking up the bronze with 112, Ianyo takes the silver with 113, but it is a categorical thumping at the top from Mark with 164, who takes the gold medal. Very well played indeed. If you want to have another quick glance down that board, all of those points will be converted into pennies, provided you have more than 0, and credited to the penny database when the credits roll in just a minute. Credits, that's something I didn't do. I didn't update the credits. Bollocks. Let me see if I can do that real quick now. Where are they? Titles and credits. That's probably where they are, isn't it? Have I done these properly, or have I done these really badly? I'll put Ape's name in here. Where are you? And then I need to remember to update this afterwards. Ah, good. I can replace a placeholder name. So actually, there we go. Put Ape's name in there as well. So you will get your name in the credits, and I must update these properly in due course. That's it. I mean, the Hive is quite a lengthy game. It's about an hour and 20, so there was only planned to do that tonight. But we will do some Crystal Dome action in just a moment. So do join me after the credits for another couple of trips to the Crystal Dome. And what fun it will be for some extra pennies. Thank you all for playing the Hive. Congrats to Ralph. Thanks again to Ape. And well done to Clive, Ianyo, and to Mark there, our top worker drones for the evening. I hope you've had fun. Join us for the Crystal Dome in just a couple of minutes. Great performance there from Ralph, and thank you again to 8Minky. Delightful pack. Yeah, I always love playing the Hive. I think it's fairly common knowledge. It is one of my favourite games. So always nice to have a really good pack like we had just there from 8Minky. So, oh yeah, sorry about that. I left the Hive build running, and I should probably nix that particular debug. Bonus pennies are available now. If you would like to claim them, and all that data from the Hive should have been added on. I need to remember that my Hive packs go in a different folder because the packs are drawn from a different location on the drive. Sapster Claire, welcome to the stream. Great to have you here. Time for the Crystal Dome. I spent today optimizing this code, actually, so it's this is looking a lot tidier than it was. Exactly the same on the other side, I hasten to add, but under the hood, it's this is all looking a lot tidier. While this is loading up, let me tell you about what is coming up in the coming days. I think Bash is off this week, so he is not streaming. He might be doing some casual streams, but I don't think he's got any quiz stuff. Topper is back next week. Next Thursday he's going to be back. So I'm not sure if there's anything on until me again on Saturday. So I do hope you'll come and join me on Saturday, because we have got lovely stuff coming up on Saturday. Let me put the camera back on. Lovely stuff coming up on Saturday. We have got Crossfire by Lewis. We have got Cryptex by Dogfish. And we have got The Abyss by a combination of Lingo and Shadowmane. So a triple bill of trivia action on Saturday from 8 p.m. GMT. Twitch.tv/royal_flush. In the meanwhile, do come and join the Discord, because then you can get all of the information as and when it is published and released in the Discord. Yeah, make sure you pop yourselves in there and come and have a chat with us for even more information. And if you've got any suggestions, of course, that is where they will go. But yes, Crossfire, Cryptex, and The Abyss coming up on Saturday. Very much looking forward to that. So, time for me to take this out of test mode to the Crystal Dome! There we go. So, that's fine. That's fine. That's quite long. Oh, no, it's not. That's fine. Cool, that's fine. Right, if you want to play the Crystal Dome, there's the instructions. So, correct answers will get you gold tokens. Incorrect answers get you silver tokens. Join the game by typing !play. When prompted, predict how many tokens in total, that's gold minus silver, will be earned by the group. Closest to the total gets 100 bonus pennies. You then get 10 pennies per gold token, but you lose 10 per silver token. 12 puzzles will be displayed, one every 5 seconds. Answers may still be submitted after the puzzle has moved on. 5 seconds grace are given at the end, and whisper all your answers to Persephone's Twitch bot. So, single letter answers, or single letter or number. Let's raise the drawbridge and enjoy that bridge going through the Aquas water shader there. It's all very pretty. So, 60 seconds in the dome. Temptation is to make a full version of this, because I love the dome. I don't know if I'll be able to model the rest of the game, though. That's the problem. So, anyway, last chance to join. Kegler Coach, welcome to the stream. We'll do a couple of games of this, I think. We're going to lock that up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Despite tidying it up today, I didn't add the thing into the chat that says it's got to tell you how many players are in the game, but you can listen to the words coming out of my mouth, and I can tell you there are 22 players in this game. So, of the 22 players in the game, how many gold do you think you'll end up with in total? Whisper to Persephone's Twitch bot your prediction now. No more players joining the game at this point. So just whispering any number to Persephone's Twitch bot and you'll go blue. And then it'll be over to Richard O'Brien to begin the game. Jers, get a prediction in? There we go. All predictions in. Fingers on keyboards, gang. Richard O'Brien, take it away.
Will you start the fans, please?
Calculate the following. 19 minus 6 minus 7. What appears in the top but not in the bottom? Is a number 903 prime or composite? KMOQ, what's next? What's in the top but not the bottom? What's in the top but not the bottom? What letter changes in fork to make a serve that is illegal that lands outside the prescribed area? 4 plus 8 minus 10. What letter changes in apara to make an exceptional or distinct? CYUQ, what's next? Fondly, change one letter to make an American band from Sussex, New Jersey. And finally, calculate the following. 28 minus 14 minus 10. And there's time up. As the tokens come to rest, are you going to bust through the top? You're not. 19 minus 6 minus 7 is 6. D appears in... oh, hang on. No, that's wrong. Something's wrong with that. That's a fix that I've not fixed properly. Yeah, E appears in that. Clearly, I've mixed that up. I got that the wrong way around. I've done the format in the wrong way. Fork becomes fault. 4 plus 8 minus 10 is 2. Apara becomes apara. It looks like it's still right in Twitch chat, but just not on the screen. So, next letter would be M. Fondly becomes folly. I don't know if you got that. And 28 minus 14 minus 10 is 4. Lupine, One and Matt the Sprat were closest with 159, just 4 away. Very well done. 100 bonus pennies going to you. We'll do another one of those in just a moment. I'm going to do a micro dev stream first of all. Oh, 145 Natters. So close, so close. 163 is what you ended up with there in total. Micro dev stream while I fix the that first thing. The answer being the wrong way round. I'll show you some code. Let me show you all some code. Right, so this is the game control. Yeah, so I changed all these to be formatted properly earlier on, and obviously got it the wrong way round. It was the letter one, wasn't it? Missing letter. What appears in... oh, no, it's in the solution. Blank 0 appears in 1, but not in 2. Puzzle displays. Display next puzzle. Where's display next solution? Oh, display next solution. There it is. 0 appears in 1, but not in 2. So that should be expect character. Goes there. Appears. That goes there. And appears in that, but not in that. I think that's correct now. Yes. Was the underline in the right place? I don't think it was, actually. No, it wasn't. That's my bad. Let's just put... Whoops, take insert off. Let's just pop the underline in the right place as well. And the other thing I wanted to do was say how many players are in when we lock it. So if we go... I'll make predictions... so we need to go here. But now, I changed no more players to number plus players. So $, and that will be where are players stored? Are they in here? Players, yes. Players.count. Players. And we'll speak of predictions too. And we can put that there as well in square brackets. Players.count. Players. That are in. are in. So we're consistent. There we go. Cool. Hopefully that change is now correct. And all is well. Game events, puzzle display. Cool. Right. Once more, Unto the Void, dear friends. Let's go again. Once we get host control. And then we're going to go raid. HUD's still going. Yeah, we're going to raid my buddy HUDs. Right. One more. I need to add another puzzle to this. So, there's your instructions. Cool. JB, welcome to the stream, my dude. Great to have you here. Hope you're keeping well. I'll wait for this thing to finish. It's got to be done. Got to be done. Do 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 do. Oh, Proogs, to answer your suggestions just come in. Stack them in 3 columns rather than 4. If I stack them in 3 rather, then we get that. It could do, but it's in danger of coming down to overlay the thing if we get significantly more players. So I'll have a look at it. See what it looks like. Oh, hello, JB. Want to come by and say ooh woo? That's fine. Thank you for the 10 bits there, JB. To your other point, Proof, the lobby is automatically open from the beginning. You can join immediately. It just doesn't say it on the screen. Yeah, but I always go through these solutions. Right, prediction time. Oh, okay, the square brackets are in the wrong place, but it is there at least. 23 players are in. Whisper your predictions to Persephone's Twitch spot now. I'll move that square bracket. In fact, square bracket looks a bit janky, actually. I might get rid of it altogether. So, last few predictions to come in. Let's wait for Clive and JB. No one to go to predict. There's JB's and Clive's. You playing, Clive? He's pondering. He's gone to the calculus worksheet. Please disregard anything that JB says. Duly noted, Praybot. Welcome to the stream. Ah, there we go, Clive. Lovely. Hey, Praybot, if you want to give us a follow, if you're not already, that would take us ever closer. Hint, hint. Would be 971. Hey, there we go. Praybot89, thank you very much for that follow. Most grateful to you. 971. It merges ever closer. 29 away. Oh, I'm going to have to start thinking about that at some point. Testing things. Good egg. Christmas Praybot. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Right, Richard O'Brien, take it away.
Will you start the fans, please?
Which letter changes in Hague to make an adjective high class? Take this sentence. J, P, V, B. Next letter is... BZXV, next letter is. What appears in the top but not on the bottom? BXTP, what's next? Ah, the emojis are back. Take this pattern. How many times does that one appear? What's in the top but not the bottom? 233, prime or composite? And in that pattern, how many times does that one appear? And another emoji one. And another emoji one. 3 in a row, goodness me. 18 minus 14 minus 1. And that's time up. Where are we going to finish? 134. He becomes Hort. H will be the next letter in that sequence. BZXV, and then T would be next. Z appears in the top but not the bottom. Good, that's working now. BXTP and then L. The black pointing left appears twice. R appears in the top but not in the bottom. 233 is Prime. And that one, white pointing up, appears 5 times. Black pointing down appears 1 time. Black fist bump does not appear in that pattern. And 18 minus 14 minus 1 gives you 3. And Clive and Legend! Oh, the pondering was worth it. He was 1 away, 133. Very well done, Clive. Worth away, absolutely. 100 bonus pennies going your way. Anyone get 12 there? Mark getting all 12. Kudos to you. Well played. 120 pennies. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Cool. That's Crystal Dome. Data's all up to date. I'll go and fix that square bracket in just a minute. Yeah, thank you for pointing out the inconsistency in the scores on the Hive as well, Priggs. I think it probably is just it's ordering them. It must be ordering them jointly on one, but not the other. So it might have just gone a sort of a random order. So you're 7th on Hackbox, but 8 on the board. I imagine it does it by. I'll tell you what it might be, Proogs. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense because you're both using more or less your username. I was just thinking it might be ordering one by username and one by player name, or one by Twitch name and one by player name. But either way, yeah, it doesn't do ties properly. It's a bit of a jank sort of fix in there, but there we go. Anyway, well done, Clive. 1 away there, plus the 80 pennies that go with it, so 180. That can't be bad. We'll update all those pennies onto the drive. I am in the process actually of migrating the penny storage system into a slightly more maintainable format. It's still going to be JSON, but instead of being in one massive JSON, it's going to have all the games in separate files. I was tempted to slightly rejig the build, but I'm the online build, but I'm not entirely sure I can be bothered because what we've got is perfectly functional. But I will be changing it. It just means that all of like the Abyss medals are stored in a single file, so I don't have to update every build every time I update with a new game or something. So, but that's all boring behind the scenes stuff. Your pennies should be available to view at persephoneshare.com/pennies, and I will update those as soon as the stream ends. We are going to go raid my buddy Huds. He's a great chap. He's a Sonic speedrunner. He's doing. He's just taking a break at the moment, which suggests he will be back. Is it GDQ this weekend? No, that was a couple of weekends ago. Game Show Marathon, I think, is this weekend, and he's going to be racing and commentating on that. So we're going to go give him some love, and we're going to say, can we say to the Crystal Dome again? Seems as good a thing as any to say. To the Crystal Dome, we'll go say hi to Huds. Look, thank you, first of all, for your forbearance over the weekend and for putting up with my spiel at the beginning. I didn't want to dwell too much on it, and I wanted to do that separate from the game. So everything has run without a hitch tonight, so it's just sort of a matter of waiting for it to happen again. And I do beg your patience when it does. And thank you for your ongoing support in this venture, in this tiny little pocket of the internet. So thank you. And thank you as well to BC and 8 Minky, our question writers tonight, to everyone for playing, to Ralph, our hot seat player, to everyone who played in the lobby. I hope you've had a good time. It's been great to be back here tonight. Considering on Saturday, I generally thought I don't think I'm going to stream on Tuesday. I'm not sure I want to, but I'm really glad I did. So thank you for coming out and supporting me. I'm going to be back on Saturday with Crossfire, Cryptex and the Abyss, I think I said. So I look forward to seeing you there. If not before, don't forget, come join the Discord server, and we're going to go and raid HUD 601 and say to the Crystal Dome. Until next time, be absolutely splendid and wonderful and marvellous and safe. I'll see you on Saturday for more of the same, if not more of the same. Until then, you have been watching Game Night. I've been Royal Flush. Take care. Peace out and good night.